Hello my beautiful friends, it's Amanda here, and today we're talking about, you guessed it, another new collection from ColourPop. This is the Melrose collection. Right now it's currently only available at Ulta Beauty, although ColourPop mentioned on an Instagram post that this will be available on the ColourPop site in February. So for all my non-US friends, if you're interested in this, you will have access to this collection eventually, but for now it's just at Ulta. We have blushes, luxe glosses, and then of course a palette. This is the Off Melrose palette. So let's start with the blushes. We have two different blushes. These are priced at $10 US a piece. The outer box that these two blushes come in are exactly the same for both shades. However, the outer packaging is just a little bit different when it comes to the actual compacts themselves. You can see on the top, the little fold over spine, they do have the names printed, and then when you look at them side by side, you can see that they spell out ColourPop when you put them end to end. So of course that means that the covers are different. On the back we see some different colors here, and then the shade names are labeled on the back. These are a cardboard outer packaging. They do have a magnetic closure. There's a little mirror inside, and you can see some of those cute graphic details carry over inside to the mirror and to the pan where the blush is set inside. The shade Juice Bar is the more pinky option, and the shade Fashion District, which is the blush that I'm wearing on my cheeks throughout the talking portions of the video, is more of a warm terracotta, more of a nudie type of shade. And you can see here I've already gotten a little bit of hard pan on this Fashion District blush, but I have used it a few times. So here they are side by side. This way you can really see the different appearance in the pan itself. And next up I'm going to show you some swatches. These are just some quick finger swipe swatches. These do have a nice tone to them, a nice pigmentation, and I like that they have a little bit of sheen, but they're not really heavily glittered like a lot of the more recent ColourPop blush releases have been. I did want to do just a couple little blush comparisons. I was really curious about I Need Space and Lunar Has It compared to these, so I'm betting that some of you guys are too. So here's just one quick blush comparison for you with these Melrose collection blushes. Next up we have 4 luxe glosses. These are priced at $8 a piece. Again, we're seeing identical outer packaging on all of these products, and then they have the color coordinating shade name labels on top. Keeping with the theme of a very neutral collection, these are different neutral glosses, many different shades of nudes, and then a completely clear gloss called Let's Be Clear. These seem to be the exact same formula, same applicator, same scent as all of the previous luxe glosses, and you can see here there is just that little cute heart detail on the tube component, but otherwise exact same shape and size as the rest of their luxe gloss line. Here's some quick swatches on my arm. That way you can see the similarities and differences. Seeing them side by side is sometimes easier to tell than just looking at individual lip swatches. I am going to show you lip swatches of 3 shades. I'm not going to bother lip swatching a clear gloss. It's clear. First up we have Eclectic. This is what I'm wearing throughout the video. This is a very light milky nude shade. Next is Cross Street. This is a more mid-tone, warm-toned nude shade. And lastly, actually my favorite of all these glosses is Health Kick. It's the deepest and it just shows up the best on my lips. Lastly, we have the Off Melrose palette. This is a 12 pan palette and it's priced at $18 US. For the Off Melrose palette, the outer box, the cardboard packaging, and the palette itself are exactly the same. Front, back, same graphics, same everything. When we take a close-up look at this palette, it is a heavy-duty cardboard. There are some little raised details, some shiny details, so there is a little bit of texture on here, which I personally do enjoy. When we flip over and look at the back, I want to point out the shade names are listed here, and there is one shade that has the not intended for use in the immediate eye area warning. That is a pressed glitter. There are no other pigment warnings in this palette. It's a heavy duty cardboard. It has a magnetic closure, and there is no mirror in this one. When we take a close-up look inside here, the shade names are printed. It's just a little bit hard to see the silver lettering on that white shiny background. There are 3 true matte shades, 2 mattes with micro glitter, 6 true shimmers, and then 1 pressed glitter. That's the one shade that has the eye safety warning. And one of these shimmers, this one called FAIRFAX, is a duochrome shade. I'm wearing it on my lid, so you'll get to see that one in use in a tutorial in just a little bit. Now that you've seen all the info on this Off Melrose palette, let's take a look at some swatches. I will be showing you both finger and brush swatches. The swatches are done on the inside of my arm with no primer down first, just the shadows straight onto my skin. On top you'll see the finger swatches, and then directly below will be a brush swatch. The only shade that I'm not going to be brush swatching is the pressed glitter. I really just don't want to glitterify my brush. The brush swatches are done with my e.l.f. flat eyeshadow brush, and I clean off the brush in between each swatch using my Vermona color switch. That way there's no shadow transfer between swatches. So let's take a look at those swatches now. Next, I want to show you a little tutorial, a little demo with a couple of these products, and then we can get to some palette comparisons. First, I'm going to apply some blush. I'm using this one called Fashion District. I've actually been using this quite a bit lately, and I really like the way this looks on my cheeks. I don't have to really do a lot of work to build it up or blend it out. It just looks like a really nice, warm flush on the cheeks without a lot of extra fuss, which I love that. Next, we're moving on to eyes. First, I'm going to prep my eyes using my favorite eye base. It's the MAC Paint Pot in the shade Painterly. Then I'm going to use just a tiny bit of setting powder so that I have a nice smooth surface to blend on. First, I'm going in with this matte shade called On the List. I really started building that up in my crease area, but I also pulled that down over most of my lid. I want a really blended, really layered, smoky type of look, so I also added that same shade to the lower lash line. Next, I'm using the slightly deeper matte shade next to it called Easy Breezy, and using a small fluffy brush, I'm building that into the crease and also along the outer part of my eye so that I get some depth and dimension in that eye shape. Now I'm using this deep shimmer shade called BREA. Just using my finger, I'm tapping that on the very outer part of my eye and then gently blending it inwards towards the center. Then I'm taking the shade FAIRFAX, also on my finger, and I'm going from the inner corner to that center area and sort of blending those two shimmer shades together with a gentle tapping motion. You know what we need? Even more shimmer. I'm going to use the shade Trading Post on my pinky finger and just put the tiniest dab right in the inner corner of my eye. Then I'm going to use a pencil brush to apply this shade called Down to Earth. I'm smudging that along the upper lash line and just giving a faux liner look, and then dragging a little tiny bit down to the lower lash line. Curled my lashes and added my e.l.f. Lash It Loud mascara. That's my finished look. It's really easy, but it looks complex because of all these shimmers and the sort of blown out layered mattes. But this is a really sultry look. You could definitely wear this day or night. You could add a little bit more depth with darker shadows or liner if you wanted to turn up the volume a little bit. But I really, really love the way that this look turned out. Okay, let's take a look at some palette comparisons now. Every time I do palette comparisons, there's no possible way that I can do every single one that everybody wants to see. I just can't anticipate everything. I definitely don't own every palette ever. And honestly, my arm starts to hurt after a while. But as always, I will be taking swatch comparison requests over on my Instagram stories. I will try to get to that soon. I also want to try to do some for the Wild Child collection. So keep an eye on Makeup.Just.For.Fun if you're on Instagram. Until then, here are some palette comparisons for you. Hopefully those comparisons were helpful for you. I just want to quickly wrap up my thoughts on this collection. When it comes to the blushes, I think these were good choices. I'm happy to see blushes without a bunch of glitter in them. I'm happy to see some less bright pink, bright coral. We've seen a lot of those type of cheek colors from ColourPop lately. And personally, I prefer something that's a little bit more muted, a little bit more earthy, rosy, nudie. So these really are the type of colors that I'm personally more drawn to. I can see these blushes looking really good on a lot of people, working with a lot of different styles, so I think these were good choices, and frankly I'm just happy to see some non-glittery, non-coral blushes. I don't really have a ton of thoughts about the glosses. They fit well within the collection. They definitely work well with the cheek colors and the palette, but they're clear and nude glosses, so I don't know. They're not really that exciting. They're not bad. They're just kind of meh. I have plenty of other nude glosses that I really like, so I don't find myself feeling very excited about these, but like I said, they're not bad. The palette's really cute. I definitely see this kind of as a cool toned sister palette to the California Love palette that came out a couple years ago. I really enjoyed that California Love palette. Has some very mustardy, kind of retro orange type of colors in there. And I think this has that similar muted, retro, cool girl Instagram filter type of vibe to it. I like the California Love palette, and I think that these two are an interesting contrast and would probably make interesting companion palettes. All in all, I don't love it. I don't hate it. Performance-wise, it seems to be pretty good for me. You probably already know if you've watched any of my other videos that I don't like pressed glitters. I don't like non-eye safe shades in palettes. So Social Club is a little bit of a disappointment shade-wise for me. But I'm glad to see a really pretty duochrome shade in here. I'm glad to see that the majority of the mattes are not mattes with micro glitter. We do still have 2 in here, but it's not every single shade in the palette. We've had a lot of those from ColourPop lately, so I'm glad to see some really straightforward staple type of matte colors in here. I see a lot of people using this and liking it and getting a lot of great staple neutral type of looks from this palette. You can definitely go all matte. You can spice it up with a little bit of shimmer. You could do a gold, a rose gold, a really pale pink. Of course, there's the duochrome. Seems like there's a good shade spectrum here. There's definitely light, medium, and deep shades, which means you're going to have a lot of versatility as far as the types of looks you can create. There's definitely things that I like about this palette. I do think ColourPop really needs to come out of the gate with something exciting, something different, something colorful, something a little bit weird, offbeat. I'm missing the days of good sport and all I see is magic and element of surprise. I think they need to bring back a little bit of that energy to their color stories. It's definitely going to work for a lot of people. I'm hoping for a little something more, you know? I want to ooh and ah a little bit over a color scheme. Even if they had just taken these 2 brown shades that are mattes with glitter, put something like a matte in this like denim blue type of color, maybe done a really, really deep, rich, kind of emeraldy green or something. I'm pulling some color inspiration from the packaging, which I also like and think is really pretty and fun. Even just adding a little twist of something else in here could have really upped the volume on this palette for me. Even though I'm not a big blue and green girl, I just am excited to see them do something beyond a very neutral color scheme. So hopefully 2021 is the year that ColourPop puts the color back in their pop. Now's the time when I want to hear what you think about this collection. Are you interested? Have you picked anything up from Ulta? Are you one of my international friends waiting for it to come to the ColourPop site? I always love to hear what you think about things too, so make sure you leave all your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Okay, if you keep hearing a sound in the background, it's my heater. My studio's in the basement. It's very cold in the basement in January, so I'm not going to turn my heat off. If you hear it, I'm sorry. If it's annoying, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to freeze to death to film a video. I don't know what else to tell you. Okay, focus. Leave it to YouTube. Someone will still complain that I didn't swatch the clear one. Never underestimate the power of YouTube comments to not make sense at all. I don't mean you, I mean the other people. Okay, these all look the same. That looks the same as the last one. It's fine. Shadow swatches with my swatch brush and my color switch. I'm an adult. It's fine. It's going great. I'm distracted. Okay, what was I talking about? Do I look like a super cool LA girl? I would probably need a winged liner and lashes for that. I do have a tie-dye on though. Is that LA? I don't know. I've never been to LA, so I have no idea. Gonna go film another video now. It's gonna be fun because it's an indie palette haul. So that'll be soon, or maybe already up. I don't know. I don't really have a plan. I'm just here. I don't know what's gonna happen next. It's exciting for all of us. Okay, anyway, so thanks for watching. Love your face so much. I hope you're having a good day. And if you're not, then I hope that tomorrow is better. And I love your face. Cute and adorable. Just like last time. Okay, see you later. Okay, bye.